Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the BFNL Netball Show for the final time in season 2016, our grand final edition, the biggest day of the year for the BFNL's A-grade netball competitions and all the other netball competitions, as of course this weekend at the Eastern Oval on Saturday afternoon. Sean Kelly's my name. Joining me, as she does every week, is AFL Goldfields netball manager and my very, very good friend Kimmy Bailey. Kimmy, we've made it. Grand final week's here.
Just made it.
Just made it. We're running on fumes.
The penultimate show. Is that the word?
Penultimate
show? Yeah.
No, that was last week. That means second last.
It's just all delusional at the moment, isn't it? But look, we must apologise off the cuff straight away that none of the fun and frivolity that happened last year
or the year before
won't be taking speckies on Shawnee or
breaking her ankle when she did it
or anything like that. Put me in a bit of grief. The weather has taken over,
yes,
hasn't it?
Mother Nature has decreed that she didn't like our little skits over the last couple of years. Of course, in 2014, when we started the Netball Show off, we did this on the court at the Eastern Oval. We had the A-grade best and fairest Emma Ryan with us for that.
I wasn't at that one.
Maddie Wiltshire and I tried to outscore her and didn't have much success until the very end. And then, of course, last year, you and I and Kat Biskin, who was playing with Lakers at the time, put a couple of skits together on how to stop Jordan Bibby, and that didn't end well when your ankle blew out to about 3 times the size immediately after it. And we had, look, trust me, we had it all planned for this year. We were even bringing in Melbourne Vixens players and all sorts of the like to really bring something spectacular. And then the weather hit. Ballarat turned into Ballarat, and all of a sudden
the Australian Diamonds hit too and took those girls away.
Exactly right. That kind of didn't help us as well. We didn't factor on that. Liz, what are you doing this week? Can you come into a netball show? I'm actually playing for Australia. Okay, thanks. So that phone call didn't go down all that well, but look, we had it all planned, but unfortunately, as you will be very, very well aware, Mother Nature has decided to just take an absolute stranglehold on the region at the moment. We couldn't get outside.
No, it's just ridiculous. And if at Saxton House, the fire track's all underwater. Yep. At my house at Clarkfield, we're all virtually underwater there too, and and
all parts in between.
Yeah, so it's it was coming home from the Hendo down the highway the other night was a little bit precarious to say the least. So got home okay, but it's the water's everywhere and good for the dams. It
certainly is, but it has not dampened our enthusiasm for this weekend's netball. It's going to be a huge, huge weekend. But before we get to that, we're going to have a look back at the preliminary final from last weekend as our first talking point for this weekend. North Ballarat City taking on Lake Wendouree, and a pretty good game, but in the end, I reckon the margin that North City won by 65 to 52 was probably indicative of where the two teams were at for this year.
Yeah, I think so. Really close first quarter. Lakers went up to the first up, and then 9-goal to 20 second quarter.
The second quarter has been Lake Wendouree's Achilles heel.
Yeah, and it was pretty even after that. They just couldn't peg back the margin. Yeah. So Mel Allen had a really good game for Lakers. However, she shot 33 and 38% of 38 at 87%, which is awesome.
Got sent back in the third quarter too.
Yep, she dropped back to defence.
Yep, dropped onto Jordan.
Yeah, but Jordan, as we said last week, she stepped up at the right time, hasn't she?
And I'll tell you who else has. Gina McCartin has been fantastic throughout this final series, and even talking to Annie last week in the lead up to the game, she knew how important it was. Yeah. Given that teams are defending Jordan so hard and playing that split ring defence on Jordan, they have all finals, for Gina to actually stand up and really shoot the ball and shoot it well. And whilst her percentages haven't been right up there, as we said on the show last week, she's had a real influence on this final series.
Oh, and she's a pocket rocket around there. Her and Stacey just really provide that drive, and I'm so happy to hear you play that split ring defence. I've taught you something this year. There
I 100% agree.
You know what I'm talking about now. But look, they're an awesome team, North City. They really are, and they really deserve their victory, and they deserve their spot in the grand final. Lakers, I was really impressed with their team this season. You know, maybe. It'd be interesting to see if their team changes much next year as well. Might see a couple of kids move up, like the likes of Ali Brewer and those type of girls.
Retire off the oldies like Romsey and bloody Katie Williams that are just hanging on by the skin of their teeth.
They are not. They've just been unbelievable in your nasty person,
they have been.
Sean.
And that's why I was winking at the camera when I said it. You missed that.
See the wink. But they've been fantastic, and Molly Boyle has been phenomenal as well.
Yeah, she's a gun.
And, they're a great team, and it's most probably I would say they need another key goaler.
Yeah.
to really, and maybe maybe another defender.
Yeah, they wouldn't mind another Kat Biskin type that can go at either end of the court with height.
Yeah, and I think they most probably know that too. So,
well, Kat could just come back. I was talking to her last week, and she was talking about how she wanted to come down and watch Lakers play on the weekend. So, Kat, just come back and play for you.
I'm not sure she's playing back down Geelong.
She did her knee.
Oh, did she?
She did her knee during the year.
That's no good at all because she's a great chick too. But yeah, so Lakers should be pretty proud. But as I said, this team, this North City team, has been awesome for a few years now. You know, Emma Church, Sarah Milton in defence, Liv Jones through the mid-court, supported by the McCartin girls, and then straight in the ring to Jordan. Absolutely spectacular team.
They certainly are indeed, and they've done a fantastic job this year. And then our second talking point for the week was on Monday night at the McCure Ballarat. 400 people in the room to see the Sally McLean Trophy for the A-grade Best and Fairest once again go the way of Lauren Atkinson from East Point. A fantastic season for Loz. 28 votes to win it. She had 28 votes when we flashed the leaderboard up with 3 rounds to go. Obviously didn't play in the last 4 games.
No.
But had enough up her sleeve that when we flashed that leaderboard up, she was 10 votes up at that stage. And obviously anybody at that stage with a basic understanding of mathematics knew that she had the trophy in her bag and she couldn't be beaten.
She had it done by halfway through the season.
Yeah.
She just had such an awesome first half of the season. She really did. Great player, great leader. Great netball sense, you know. She knows she can read the play. She knows where the ball's going to go, and a really well-deserved award. Very humble, and she's the indicament of what netball is to me. She just is fantastic, and I love her. Really deserving, and I think. You know, anyone who wins the Sally McLean Trophy now it's a real privilege and an honour. And she was a little bit overwhelmed, to tell you the truth. She
was a little bit, even though she had plenty of time to prepare for it. I was actually talking to her earlier in the week about it. She said that she still got up and she was flabbergasted. She didn't know what to say. She couldn't believe that she'd won it, especially missing the last 4 rounds of the season.
Yeah, I think the old calves were playing up on her a little bit in the Achilles. So that's why she's been wearing the compression.
The big, long black socks that we saw.
Yeah, the compression stockings. So, but it's got her through. She's only got to make it one more game. That's it.
She has indeed, and I tell you what, there would be nothing sweeter for her to pair that Sally McLean Trophy with a premiership medal this weekend. The other big winner on the night at the Henderson Medal night was our netball MVP, and I suppose the difference is obviously the best and fairest voted on by the umpires, the MVP voted for by the coaches. And once again this year, it was Jordan Bibby from North Ballarat City. Well done, Bibbs.
Yeah, what a season she's had.
Yeah,
she's just awesome. You know, she's a premier goaler in the competition. She had someone nipping at her heels this year, I think. I think she had Kelly Moran nipping at her heels. But her accuracy and her strength around the court is awesome. You know, around the circle is awesome. And for a big tall girl, she's so agile, you know, and she gets that ball and she's just that vision and straight in the ring. So I think an extremely well-deserved award.
It was indeed well done to Jordan. And you mentioned Kelly Moran. Both of those girls featuring in the PFD Team of the Year this year, coached once again by Annie McCartin from North Ballarat City.
Yeah, congratulations, Annie. 2 years in a row, really well deserved as well. We'll quickly run through the Team of the Year. And I think when you look at it on paper, you think, oh my goodness, I would love to have this team and coach it. It would be awesome. So in the goalkeeper position, look, I think she's the best defender in the competition. East Point's Kate McLeod, just a rocket ship. Emma Henry,
she's a king.
I love watching Emma play. And when she played with me with Sovereign, she was just so strong and really coachable and would do what I ask. I love her. She's great. Molly Boyle. Well, what do we say about Molly in wing defence? You know, I love her in wing defence too, and that's what I think with the Lakers team, she has to play.
They had to drop back and play
goal defence, and I think that's really pertinent for them if they get her back in that position. She's nearly unstoppable.
I agree.
Prue Stanley, I've coached Prue, and she is such a little Jack Russell, hard as nails, really asks for perfection on the court, and she's just an ultra fit chick. I don't know if we'll see her back next year, but I hope we do. She was great. And in wing attack, Lozzie Atkinson, what can we say? I've already spoke about Loz, and was named captain of the Team of the Year as well. Really pleased to see this one. Lauren Dew.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, from East Point again. Has been fantastic. Has been really instrumental in why East Point are in the finals. And we've already spoke about Jordan, MVP.
Bibbs in goal shooter.
Yep. And the subs, the two McCartin sisters, Stacey and Gina, and you know, that combination is awesome, and that's why North are where they are. And Mel Allen's had a great season. Bad injury, her ankle was horrendous, and for her to rebound back and most probably play even better after the injury has been amazing. Emma Farrell, I don't think Emma could believe it when she got this, but she's
had a fantastic year.
Her final series has been amazing. It really has, and she'd be very proud of herself. And I'm not sure she's going to back up again next year. I think they want to go out with a bang, and but I hope so, because she's just been awesome.
She has.
And Kelly Moran, we've already spoke about Kelly. So
Kelly's had a great year, and that is fantastically well deserved. She's done a great job this year, and as we said towards the end of the year, it almost became neck and neck for who would be the prominent goal shooter. Obviously, Jordan had the nose in front and has had for a long time, but Kelly was gaining some ground as the year went on, because her last 6 weeks of the season were phenomenal.
Yeah, and in that last final that they got bundled out with, she was amazing as well. She virtually held up the whole team at one stage there with her accurate shooting, and the games I've seen her, she's starting to seal a lot more and just put on a nice hold.
Yep.
I think she was, for someone that tall, you don't want them to be an overly agile goalie. You'd like them to hold and shoot.
Yep.
And that's been a big improvement in her game. So just want to quickly mention the other MVPs.
Please do.
We'll start with MVPs and then BNFs. Pete Brady as well. Congratulations,
Administrator of the Year. Well done, brother.
Thank you for swapping my voucher with my with the Chupa Chups. That was very well. Then they dropped over in my car, and I had 1,000 Chupa Chups in the back of my car when I got home.
Probably would have loved that.
Yep. So the under-19s MVP was Ash Smith from Redan. So
well done, Ash. Played some senior netball this year with Redan as well.
Yep. And from D grade was Annie Madison from Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
C grade, Kate Drew from Lakers again.
Again, I think she won the same award last year.
Yeah, I think she did, And the best speech of the night, it was hilarious. Courtney McLean, who virtually said, I'm a thug on the court. Did she?
And look, you expect nothing less from Court, because she's an absolute ripper of a chick and really well deserved her winning the MVP in B grade.
Yeah, it was really refreshing to hear. That was quite funny. I was up the back drinking my cup of tea, having a
bit of a
chuckle.
Time, actually.
I was having a real chuckle. So congratulations, ladies. And the best and fairest. Under 19s, this girl is a superstar. She played in the Sovereigns development team.
She's still eligible for 17 and under netball.
Yeah, she's just a superstar. And I wouldn't be surprised if she makes the Sovereigns 19 team this year. Is Ali Brewer from Lake Wendouree on 24 votes. Just sneaking home from Tilia Coverdale from Melton on 23, who's another one who completely still plays.
Correct.
And Eleni Hooper from North on 22, so really, really close there.
3 gun netballers there too.
Yeah, awesome.
Fantastic players.
And you look at some of the votes too. The next D grade was also really close. Melanie Kelly from Mountain South won on 21 votes.
Well done, Mel.
Run-up was Taylor Brogan from Sunbury on 20. Taylor's loves her netball. Great girl. So well done, Taylor. And Jessica Luke from Ballarat on 19 votes. So Ballarat's had a really good voting year.
They have, and we'll see that in the next 2 grades as well.
Yeah, C grade. The winner, Kate Drew.
Yep.
So MVP.
Did the MVP and the best and fairest.
31 votes, so she won that most probably quite comfortably. Runner-up was Elizabeth Carson from East Point on 26, and third was Sophie Balsar on 21 votes.
Both of those girls, I think, Gabby Carson, it was her sister that won a D grade best and fairest, I think, and I think Sophie Balsar's won a C grade best and fairest in the past as well.
Yep. And B grade, the winner was Laura Head from Ballarat, 21 votes, another Ballarat girl.
Another Ballarat girl.
Mel Thomas, cracker of a chick too, 20 votes.
Well done, Melons.
And Loz Gilchrist, most probably one of the fittest chicks are out there on 19 votes.
And watching her throughout the count, she could not believe she was racking the votes up the way she was either. And especially in a team that's got players like Amanda Cusack, Keely Lavo that took votes off her as well.
Yeah, she's very excited and loves her netball, so really proud of her. And then the A grade, we've touched on that already. Loz with 28 votes. Molly Ball, as we said, we've just spoke about Molly and how good she is, 23 votes. And Emma Henry from Redan on 20.
Leads us into this weekend and the biggest weekend of the season in the Ballarat Football Netball League. It is the culmination of the 2016 McDonald's Final Series. It is the BFNL Grand Final day, where we go for the BGT Netball Cups for this season. The 19 and unders starting at 9 a.m. at the Eastern Oval is Redan taking on Ballarat. The D grade is North City taking on Ballarat. North City looking for back-to-back in that one. I think Redan looking for back-to-back in the 19s as well. C grade is Sunbury taking on Ballarat. I'm pretty sure those two were around the mark in C grade last year as well.
Yeah, I think so.
B grade is a repeat of last year's grand final between Sunbury and Lake Wendouree, and I can tell you that there's no love lost between those two sides whatsoever. And then the A grade game, we picked this after round 1. We've gone with it all season long. And it's come to be East Point taking on North Ballarat City. Two 2:15 p.m. So the times have come forward a little bit for grand final day. Obviously, been playing at 2:30 all year and throughout the final, so we've come forward a bit for the grand final. Going to be an absolutely fantastic game, though. We've spoken about these two teams ad infinitum throughout the season. Their matchups have been legendary. They've had, obviously, the draw in the first round of the season. It was 6 goals in round 15, where the second quarter, East Point got away from North Sydney, and then they did a similar thing in the final as well. Basically, for 10 of the 12 quarters between these two teams this season, you haven't been able to split them. Yeah,
it's going to be a great game. Just quickly, just touching on some of the other games, that Redan and Ballarat 19's game will be an absolute ripper.
It will.
They have been so close all season. Redan knocked them off, a bit of an upset. And I think the last game of the season might have been the last game Ballarat beat Redan. Second last. So it's really close.
No, it was the last game, sorry. Yeah, it was.
The North Ballarat and Ballarat.
North City and Ballarat in D grade.
North City and Ballarat. Well, I got Callan Ran and those chickies out there. Oh, sorry, Kelly Amore and Lisa James. I was going to say, Kelly Ran's playing D grade, something's going on. I think, and Deb Hutchison, I think, as well. Yep. I think they won it last year as well, so they're trying to get 2 in a row. Sunbury and Ballarat will be a really interesting game. I don't know much about the Sunbury team in this game, but the Ballarat team, they're quite strong as well. I think Sunbury might get over the line, and I think Sunbury and Lakers, I think Sunbury might be going for 3rd or 4th in a row.
Yeah, I think you're right. They beat Lakers last year.
Yep, and they beat them the year before. So they're going for their 3rd, and they're a really strong team. That Sunbury team, they could most probably nearly beat some of the teams in A grade on their day.
So could that Lakers team, though.
Yeah. So
Jackie James, Jackie Clifton, Courtney McLean, a lot of strong players throughout that team.
It'll be a really tough physical game, I think, that one. So I think it could even that could be nearly the match of the day, depending on the big one.
Although the big one is going to be a great game, and obviously we've spoken about these two teams, and what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of our hands, because we're going to go to the coaches of these teams to find out exactly what's going to happen on this day. Annie McCartin from North Ballarat City and Sascha Veldhuis from East Point joining us on the BFNL Netball Show. Here we are at Saxon House, ladies and gentlemen, with 3 very, very special guests joining us. Firstly, is this nice little trophy here that will become the property of one of these two ladies come about 4 p.m. on Saturday night. Joining us, of course, is firstly the coach of North Ballarat City, Annie McCartin. Annie, welcome to the Netball Show.
Thank you very much, Shawnee.
And a first-time Netball Show appearance from the coach of the East Point A-grade team, Sascha Veldhuis. Sascha, welcome.
Thank you.
Firstly, Sascha, how is the feeling around East Point at the moment? Obviously, this has been a long time coming, and it must be a really exciting time at the moment.
Yeah, it is exciting for the girls. They've been together, I think the majority of them are the core of the team for about 5 years now, and plugging away and every year making finals and not quite getting there. So to be there is really, really exciting for a lot of these girls.
Whereas, Annie, it's kind of business as usual for you, isn't it? This is the 3rd time in the last 4 years.
Yes. It's good to see, isn't it? Now it's nice to be sort of like the old timers around back up there. So quite excited.
How different is this from, obviously, the last couple? Obviously, last year, you went in with a bit of a target on your backs, going through undefeated for most of the year, and obviously the first time in 2013, fell a little bit short against Kim's team in the grand final. How does it feel this time around?
Yeah, no, it's feeling really good. We've been there, we've done that, we know what's expected, and we know what we have to bring to win the granny.
Sascha, Shaun and I have had this discussion for a few weeks now. He's a believer in the voodoo type of thing and the monkey on your back, on East Point's back, haven't been able to go the extra mile. I think that's a load of rubbish, to tell you the truth. No doubt you've been having to contend with these sort of questions. How do you address that?
Well, I think one good thing this year is the fact that I know nothing about the league, being fresh to the league, and therefore I know nothing about what's happened in the past. And I guess I've approached it with a fresh set of eyes, and I think that's been good for the girls in the way that I've brought a totally different structure to the way we play netball, also a different type of discipline to the way we play, and also I've done a lot of work mentally on mental aspects of the game, which is things outside the box that I don't think that they've done before. So I think coming in, it's going to be totally fresh this time.
You've been a coach in the Geelong League.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about the differences and the strengths. How do we compare our netball compared to the Geelong League?
I've really enjoyed coming here to coach this year. I've coached GFL Geelong Football Netball League for 10 years prior to this with a club called South Barwon. The league is different. Geelong has a lot of players from Metro Melbourne that come down and play. There's a lot of money involved in that league, and it's nice to come here and have clubs that are very loyal to the club. There's a real club atmosphere here with the Netball and Football League that I wouldn't say is the same in Geelong. But the level of netball here is fantastic, and I even went and watched some of the junior netball finals on Sunday afternoon, and to see what's going to come through the ranks as well into the BFL over the next few years, it's really exciting.
Yeah, Nanny, you'd be really impressed with the junior program as well, seeing that North had 6 teams in the juniors, so you'd be pretty happy about that. But you guys have been awesome this season, along with East. But you just haven't been able to get on top of them. That first game was the match of the year, no doubt, when you drew. What do you think you need to bring on Saturday to beat East?
Yep, we've just got to bring 6 more goals, or 7 more goals to win. And we're really confident we can do it. We just felt the first time you get a tally on Jordan, we played into East's hands, we felt, with how we worked with Jordan there. We've just learnt a lot now that, and I agree with Sascha, it's not just Jordan and Kate we have to really focus on. I just felt we've learned a lot through the whole of the court on how we can sort of just pick up those few goals that we fell short with our last game.
So the first game, my understanding, there was a lot of feeds not on the circle edge. Have you done some work trying to get the ball and the feeds from the to the circle edge? Exactly
right, Kim. You can't expect to get a ball up to Jordan with Kate hovering just above her there. So we've worked hard on that, and we're very patient anyway, so we didn't have to introduce any more patience. But I think we just have to be a little bit smarter on how we go about where we actually put the ball into Jordan.
Yep. And Sascha, look, Kate McLeod, we know what sort of player she is. She's great. She played off the body on Jordan a little bit, which I don't think Jordan was used to. Have you guys looked at different styles, off the body, split ring?
Yeah.
You've done a lot of different varieties?
Yeah, we've looked at all different scenarios in terms of what North are now going to come back at us with in this game. Obviously, as Annie said, they did play a little bit into our hands in the games that we had played when we first introduced Kate into the lineup. But we know that they're going to come back with something different, so we also have to think along those lines. And one thing we've really worked on this year is having variation, not only in our defence end, our circle defence, but all across the court, having something different to go do if something doesn't work, and the players being adaptable and being able to make those decisions on their own and not just with my influence.
And that's really important. I think so many teams go structured and they get out there and they don't know what to do. So I think both of your teams are great examples of players being able to make their own decisions. Annie, Sarah Milton's been fantastic this year, and she's flown under the radar a little bit, I think.
Yes, she has.
I think the battle between her and Lauren will be really exciting. Lauren's very young.
Yes.
How do you see this match-up as being? Is a big influence in the game, do you think?
Yep. And when you say Lauren's young, Sarah's only 21 as well.
No, we forget that.
And we forget that.
Yeah.
It's quite a young side, and they're just doing a wonderful job, the girls, to put up with the pressure. But yeah, that match-up with Sarah and Lauren, it is such a good match-up because they're both enthusiastic. They want to get the ball. Sometimes, you'll go and you might say to Sarah, just stay, tight on Lauren. But you get that enthusiasm that you want to come off the body and all. So there's more that we can work on that will help to just combat that combination down there. Yeah.
And it's a great game in the mid-court. I think we've got most probably the 2 best wing attacks in the whole competition, Loz and Stacey. I'm really excited to see those 2 have an impact on the game.
Yes.
I'm going to ask you a little question. I don't know if you're going to tell me. Where's Loz going to start, in centre or wing attack?
Loz will start in wing attack. I think our lineup is well known, what we're going to start with, and we have absolute confidence.
What you might have been throwing something different at us.
No, she will start there. But having said that, we've got a lot of depth and we've used a lot of combinations this year, and we know that people can come in and play the role in the team that they need to on court. So we've got plenty of different things that we can go to if we need.
And it's interesting, both your wing attacks have had a little bit of an injury niggle, is that correct?
Look at them. Not giving much there, I'll tell you that one.
Well, ours was very obvious because Lauren's was out for
compression socks.
Yeah.
Got some nice photos of with those long black compression socks on too.
Socks. I think she missed 4 or 5 games during the season, and Kate Martin also through the mid-court had, I think, 6 weeks out with her calf, so we have had some niggles.
And Stacey, Annie, she back to full strength?
She's back.
She's back.
Just a simple 2-word statement, she's back, that's all we need.
She's sitting over there too, just
exactly right.
with a wry
She
smile.
giving us absolutely nothing in the background as well. Annie, What would it mean to take this back to North Ballarat Sports Club on Saturday night and partner it up with last year's Premiership Cup?
Oh, it'd be unbelievable. The field, you know, until you've experienced it, you don't know what the field is amongst everybody. You know, the boys and all, the committee, everyone. And to take this back again and to be able to say we've gone back to back for North Ballarat City would just mean the world.
And I suppose, Sascha, likewise, as you said off the top, that you don't bear the scars of history with East Point. What would this mean to you and to your club to take this back to the Eastern Oval Club rooms on Saturday night and hold it aloft?
To those girls that have been a core part of East Point for the last 5 or so years, it means the absolute world. I know how hungry they are for this opportunity on Saturday. And it's also for all those people that support them, their partners and families during the season and the time that they spend away from them. And so this is for them, the volunteers at the club, the people that go do all the work behind the scenes that sometimes go unnoticed. That it's just for the whole club, and it would mean a lot for the girls, but it would mean a lot for the whole club as well.
Well, girls, we wish you both the absolute best of luck on Saturday afternoon. Of course, this cup can only go to one of you. As much as we'd love to split it in half and give you half each, you can only go one way. Best of luck to both of you, obviously. It's going to be a fantastic game. We can't wait to see what happens on the court. Obviously, it's going to be 60 minutes of a pretty intense play that I think is going to act out with a fair few different acts and a fair few different chapters throughout the day. So, Annie, here's hoping, from your sake, that this one does get paired up with last year's as well, and we wish you all the very best of luck.
Thank you very much, Shawnee.
And Sascha, let's hope that you are the person that delivers the very first A-grade Premiership Cup to the East Point Football Netball Club.
Thank you.
Thank you very much to Annie McCartin and Sascha Veldhuis, our coaches for the A-grade Grand Final this week. Kimmy, I think it's time to head back to the studio. We might give our tips and we might kind of let everybody know what we think is going to happen in this game as well.
Shawnee, let's go.
Annie McCartin from North Ballarat City and Sascha Veldhuis from East Point, our Grand Final coaches. Sensing the excitement amongst both of these teams. I know the East Point girls are really, really excited for this one. I've seen some byplay between them on Facebook and in other mediums during the week. North Ballarat City, though, it's very much business as usual for them, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the third year in a row they've been in a grand final.
Yeah, they know the drill. They're ready for it, I think.
Third from 4, actually.
Yeah.
Because you beat them in 2013.
Really?
Yeah. And then, obviously, in 2014, it was Sunbury and Melton.
Yeah, we got our...
Do you want me to remind you about that one as well?
No, I still can't watch it.
And then North City last year.
Yeah, look, they've been a powerhouse, haven't they? Since Annie's come over to the club, done a fantastic restructure of their netball department. Mm-hmm. And success is built right from the top down. Their junior comps are amazing. Now, we had the junior grand finals on Sunday.
They were in all 6.
They were in all 6 and they won 4. They won 13 reserve, 13 seniors, 15 reserve, 15 seniors, and they just got pipped at the post by East in the reserves, and Lakers had an awesome win in the 17 seniors. So, but you look at that netball program, and you look at the same with Lake Wendouree as well.
Yep.
They had lots of kids, every team except for the 17s in the juniors as well, and they've followed that through. But it's a credit to all the people down at North. Andrew Kruger's done a great job as well.
He's done a fantastic job.
But Annie's been the catalyst behind it all. Great players like Sarah Milton had a really good season. I think she might have finished 4th.
She was right up there in the BNF count.
She was, yeah. So Emma's had Sarah's had a great season. Liv Jones in the mid-court has been awesome.
She probably hasn't flown under the radar as much this year. Last year, she really had a fantastic season, coming almost from nowhere, and we highlighted her a lot. And this year, she's kind of taken it to a new level. She represented the BFL, obviously, at Hisense Arena this year as well.
And so did Emma Church, and I was so impressed with Emma Church. She's such a tough defender. And I think...
She is going to give Emma Farrell all that she can handle this week.
Yeah, I think that'll be a really, really great contest. We've seen that Lauren Dew can stand up to Sarah as well, because Sarah can be quite physical as well. Not dirty, but just physical. And again, I like players like that who are hard at the body, but know when to pull out and stop. And Sarah's that player, and she's such an intimidating factor. But Lauren can stand up. Lozzie Atkinson and Kate Martin have been great for East as well. So it'll be Beth Smith as well. Kate McLeod is the key.
She is. Especially because she's going to stand Jordan Bibby. Yep. The round 15 game, 3 votes in that game in the best and fairest last night. I looked for this one because I wanted to see how this went. 3 votes, Kate McLeod.
Now, whether she's got in Jordan's head or not, I'm not sure. But, netball is a head game as well. You need to get into people's heads. Whether she's got into Jordan's head or not sure. We'll soon see. But, she... plays off the body a little bit on Jordan too, and I don't know if if Jordan needs to make that adjustment to realise that she will have the ability to take the intercept when she's not on the body, because when you're so close on the body, you can't get the intercept. So it'll be really, really interesting game. Jordan is coming good at the right time, though. She had a couple of lull weeks, and then all of a sudden she's exploded back up into the 90%, and that's what great players do, and she's a great player.
Tip time, I think.
Yeah, do you know what? I have stuck with East Point from round one, and I'm sticking with them.
I'm agreeing. I hesitated a little bit before I said that, obviously, because North City have the experience at grand final level that East Point don't necessarily have. But obviously, we've spoken about this a fair bit in the past couple of weeks, and you've swayed me in this one because
Fair bit of experience.
That East Point side have a lot of experience.
Emma Farrell, Lauren Atkinson,
Kate Martin, Kate McLeod,
Kate McLeod,
Marcel Galjon.
And then you match it up there as well. It's all there, Shawnee.
And it's swayed me.
Yep.
I think that East Point will win this game.
Isn't it good I have such an influence over you?
You do. You do indeed. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And either way, though, this is going to be a great game. As we said, 10 of 12 quarters this year, you cannot split these two sides. They are straight down the middle. And those other two quarters have only been 5 or 6 goals.
I just want to give a shout out to Joe Bales from East Point.
Hello, Joey.
Had a most horrendous fall last week and has dislocated her thumb. If anyone's seen on Facebook how bad it looks, it is most probably one of the most horrendous injuries I have seen. She's in plaster and goes to the surgeon, I think, this week to find out how bad it is. So, Joe, I hope you're on the mend. And it's, you poor thing. I just really felt for you when I saw it. So, these type of injuries are never pleasant in finals.
They're not.
We like to avoid them if possible.
They're not indeed. So between you and I, we're tipping that East Point are going to overcome Annie's Angels this weekend.
Yep, I think so.
That basically is the last line for this season.
Just quickly, Shawnee,
Something
that Shaun has forgotten is that...
Oh yes, I did forget this.
So this year, AFL Goldfields decided to have a Champions Challenge where we would have the winners of the RDFL, BFL and MCDNFL all play off. Well, Netball Vic have cut my grass and they're doing their own. So we're going to jump on board with them. So the winner of the BFNL Grand Final will be invited to take part in the Champions Challenge to play against every other football netball league premiers in the state in March.
Find out who is the best of the best.
The best of the best. You'll get your certificate and your invitation on winning. So it'd be great to have the BFL team. Look, I think we've most probably got one of the strongest netball competitions in the state, and I think any of these teams, either North or East, will be able to nearly take this out. So get on board with that too, girls. Get
around it indeed, and obviously get around things this Saturday at the Eastern Oval. It's always going to be a fantastic day. Plenty of seating at the brand new netball courts this year. Obviously, grandstands galore around at the moment. It looks fantastic.
It is. Actually, it was chockers on the weekend with the junior grand final, and it was unreal. I love it. It's so much closer to the ground as well.
Closer to the court.
More people come over and watch it.
You've got the stands all around the court this year, obviously, as well. It's a bit of a different atmosphere.
Yep, I hope it dries out a bit on that little hill, though, so it's not too muddy.
I agree with you indeed. That brings us to an end for the BFNL Netball Show for 2016. It's been an absolute pleasure bringing you this show on a weekly basis. Once again, throughout 2016, it just keeps growing and growing, this netball show, doesn't it? We get some fantastic feedback throughout the year. Even at the Henderson Medal night the other night, we had people saying how fantastic the netball show was and that they want to see it continue again into the future. Yeah,
and I just, from AFL Goldfield's point of view, on behalf of Rhiannon and I, I'd just like to thank all the players, coaches, coordinators, spectators, everyone involved in BFNL Netball this year. You've been fantastic. Thanks for your ongoing support, and we'll be back bigger and better in 2017.
We will indeed. This is the start of my politicking again to get the gig again for 2017. I'm going to be unashamed about it. I want to do this again next year because we have so much fun sitting here every week, Kimmy, bringing the netball show to people. Thank you so much for sitting alongside me every week, teaching me. Obviously, I learn something every time I sit here with you, but also your enthusiasm and your passion for netball and for this league shines out every week, and it's an absolute pleasure sitting here with you every week.
Thanks, Shawnee. The love fest continues.
It's obviously sitting here or sitting down in Ballarat or in Melton, or even we did it at the State Netball and Hockey Centre this year.
We did, in the back room there, so we've had to improvise a little bit.
We did.
I think I was crook as a dog that
day
as well.
It didn't come up on camera, but yeah, we had to dope you up before we got you on camera. obviously, and you coached the Sovereigns just before it, and things hadn't gone that well. So
Nah, so sick and grumpy at the same time.
yeah, going very nicely. But thank you so much for joining us on the BFNL Netball Show this year. It's been our pleasure bringing you this show, as we said, on a weekly basis. We look forward to doing it all again in 2017. Good luck to everybody participating in grand finals this weekend. We'll see you at the Eastern Oval on Saturday.